Everybody, it is September 23rd. I am Overland, and this is our live for today. I wanted to talk about choices and fear. Choices and fear in making choices, and we can um, how we can overcome our fears. So, I had a choice to make today, and I didn't want to make it. Well, there were two choices that I had to make, and one of them was to let my employer know that I couldn't come back, and I was really sad about it because I really love our kids at Horizonte. But in weighing it out, and even though I was there for a short period of time, I had to make the difficult choice of leaving because the wage wasn't even enough to support me. And also, I knew for myself after Tua and Demar came and presented that I would be doing a disservice to the kids by staying, knowing that not only the wage wasn't enough to get me to the place where I wanted to be in community service and reaching out to people who are trying to get a better life, but also in staying, I would be disservicing them because I would have built up not resentment to the kids, but resentment to my employers because they made it very clear that in getting hired, you had to be at that set wage. And so that was a difficult thing. I'm one that tries to stick to my word when I say something, and not even try. I like obsessively try. I mean, obsessively do my best to keep my word. I'm a firm believer about my word is my bond, and so when I feel like I've walked away from my word, it causes all kinds of anger, um, anger. So I was pretty angry leading up to the realization that I was going to have to make this move, and it just ate at me for a whole month because I knew the day after Tua and Damar left that yeah, even though I told the kids and staff that I was there because I love the kids, I just knew in my mind and heart that the choice had to be made and to walk away. And so I don't know if some of you guys are going through something similar, and maybe it's not fear in your case that you have to make a decision and stick to it, or keep a commitment and stick to it. But what helped me in making this first choice and really committing to letting my employer know was that question to myself: am I doing greater in staying, or am I doing greater in leaving, getting what I need to get done, and then coming back? Because I told my employer, like, this is really killing me. I don't want to leave, but I have to look out for my best interest. But in the same token, I'm not leaving with the mindset that I won't come back. And so that's what sustained me in following through, because I committed myself to, you're going to go back and you're going to, in a sense, in another way, keep my word. So if you're going through that, I would say look at where you would be more beneficial in staying or leaving. And if leaving is the case, then commit to it and then do what you got to do. And if you want to come back to that situation and better that situation, then do. But if you feel like just completely cutting yourself off of that situation, whether it be business, relationship, even spiritual, like commitment to your church or religion, whatever it is, I would encourage you to make the choice out of faith and not fear. And that was another question I had to ask myself in the second scenario, where I had to contact somebody, and I really like the greater perspective of everything made sense to me wholeheartedly, that it's good for me to contact this person. But the other side of me was fear, and I was like, I don't want to contact this person. I don't know what they're gonna be thinking, and like I kept asking myself why. Something me and my sisters Caroline, Mary Lou, and Kathy were talking about yesterday is, and what we are encouraged in our church is to always go with the first thought. Always go with when you're prompted. Like nothing bad comes from God. So if it's a good deed and it's a good gesture, then you should know. I myself always know that if it's good, do it. But even in knowing, it's hard to put that in action when you start to second guess yourself, self sabotaging with self talk that talks you out of doing the good deed. And so I did. I looked at it and I was like, okay, am I not doing it because I'm scared, or am I not doing it because it's the right thing not to do? Or am I doing it because it's the right thing to do? And it's, even though it's stretching me and my vulnerability, is it better for me to do it? And so I contacted the person and I thanked the heavens and God that the person, because I was still nervous. I was still like, oh, what if this person answers and I'm going to be like, blah, like word vomit. But Heavenly Father knows, in this person not answering, Heavenly Father showed me that even though I stepped out in faith and I didn't want to do it, but I leaped anyways, I leaped forward in faith. He was gonna help me out, and he helped me out with this person not answering because he knows I was like having a panic attack. So just of that story is, do things from a faith-based space. Even if you're a little bit nervous, just do it, because you never know. Even if the favor or the outcome doesn't end up in your favor, hello brother, even though the outcome doesn't end up in your favor, you've taken the opportunity to stretch yourself, allow Heavenly Father to stretch you. And just saying it out loud now, I know that in me leaping forward, I showed Heavenly Father that I do trust him. And I think that's a big side lesson too, is like when we don't show faith, we're really showing Heavenly Father we don't trust he's gonna catch us, that he's gonna help us fly when we think in our mind we're doing this like bungee jump off the cliff, because we're scared, because we don't want to be vulnerable and we don't want to be rejected. And I'm learning this in just in real time, telling you guys and reminding myself that rejection is only as valuable, it only has as much value as you put on it. So if you're the type of person that, like Inky Johnson, oh my gosh, that man is amazing. He's a retired football player. He got injured, but he was just saying, like, don't be the kind of man. He was talking to the Tennessee football team. He's like, don't be the kind of man that doesn't go all in, is not about like bouncing back from opposition. And so that's what I would say to you guys, is that in your choices, even if it's in fear, that's kind of blocking you from making it, just push through that fear. Somebody else said, like, fear is just an illusion. And again, if we give power to fear, negative thinking, negative talk, then it's gonna continue to not be an illusion to us, but be a false reality to us. And then we're gonna repeat our bad patterns. We're gonna repeat our self sabotaging ways. And so, and another thing, just guys, if you're out there, not feeling proud of yourself because you're somewhere in your life where you don't want to be, and you think you need more or you want more, just take it one step at a time, one task at a time, one decision at a time. Because it's when we overwhelm ourselves with too many decisions at one time, we lose track and we just go off of not only making choices off of fear, but making choices out of emotional outbursts. Our brother Masi would always say that at the end of our choir practices, when we would have our choir examples of the believer or example of the believers, and you're like, well, any emotional outbursts, pretty much saying like, if you have something to say it now, this time, so that we can all like either fix it or understand why you're feeling some type of way. So if you're feeling some type of way about your life, and that you might not feel that you're up to par, either because you're not up to par to your own standard, or you're trying to live by the standard of others, which you shouldn't. All I have to say is, don't run off of fear-based illusions. So don't run off fear-based illusions, but do try to train your mindset and your heart to run off of faith-based realities. And so I hope that helps you guys. I mean, it's only Monday, guys. don't start your week really heavy. And this is coming from a person that be asking heavy questions, loaded questions. Just take it from me. Heaviness is not always a good way to start off a conversation, a week, a life. And if you're older, I'm talking to my age demographic. If you're older, just know you are not too late to get after what you want. You're not too old to check off lists or your bucket list, your items on your bucket list. You're not too old to do it. So if you want to be a singer, if you want to be a teacher, if you want to be a comedian, anything you want to be, you're not too old. But it all starts with, again, coming to a reality that you shouldn't be running off of fear, but you should be running off of faith. And if you don't have people in your circle that is feeding your faith and only helping you to feel defeated, reach out to my inbox and to these comment areas where you can leave a comment. Reach out, because you will be helping me fulfill my dream. And my dream is to impact as many people as I can with my story. And if my story doesn't do it for you, I keep saying this, go to my contact list on IG, Facebook, Twitter. Look up all my influencers and follow them. Because at the end of the day, we all just want to be supported, loved, respected, and heard. So I'm sure there's a lot of other things, but those are my four main things right now that I know for my life, and is why I've had to make those hard choices today. And I don't know what the outcome is going to be and where it's going to lead me, but I'm so grateful that I didn't feed into my insecurities and my fears, and that I brushed it under the rug. That I really truly try to let Heavenly Father know, like, okay, I'm doing this. I don't know why, and I don't have to know why, because everything's in your hands. But please help me. So that was my prayer today, and I feel very secure about it, and I hope what I've said helps you to get to a place where you can feel the same security within yourself and within your life. I love you guys, and hit me up.